After carrying Glock for years, I'm ditching them and switching to CZ. Let's talk about it. So yes, I am switching from a Glock to a CZ75 platform, the CZ SP01, but I want you guys to comment right now what you carry, and if you carry a Glock, have you thought about switching before, or if you still carry a Glock, why you haven't thought about switching, or what's deterred you from switching. I want to know everybody's viewpoints and opinions down in the comment section, and I would love to debate or just get your guys' point of view. So please comment down below your thoughts and opinions when we get back to the video. So if you've been watching the channel pretty much any time throughout the whole time I've been doing YouTube or for my competitive shooting career, you guys know that I've been shooting Glock and been carrying Glock for a few years now. And specifically, it's been this Glock 47, which is this setup and this configuration right here. This is a Glock 47, which at first actually was a Glock 19, but for probably the longer part now, a little bit over 2 years, it has been this Glock 47, which I have done a full video, kind of like EDC update on my channel. I'll post a link to that right here if you guys want to go watch it, but I've done a full video on this. This is what I have been using for the past couple years. So just the overall setup of what I'm switching to, what I'm switching from at least, is this Glock 47 in a tier 1 concealed APX holster with a spare 17 round mag with a +2 Terran tactical extension. I'm not gonna go too into detail about this because like I said, there's a full video and breakdown that I just did about 2 weeks ago talking about this full setup. But that's what I've been running and been carrying, and this is what I'm switching from. But what I'm switching to is going to be this CZ SP01 and a T-Rex Arms sidecar holster. And I will say, already off rip, I do like this sidecar holster a little bit better than the tier 1 concealed. The APX tier 1 has more adjustability in the mag compartment, but this already is thinner and feels more comfortable. Still just as flexible with this hinge system in the middle. The retention on this, it's firm, but it still comes out very easily, which is kind of hard to find, at least in my experience for holsters. It's like if you want to be quick and have a fast draw, you got to have it so loose that it falls out, or you can have it click in and a good retention, but then it's so hard to pull out that you really can't get a good fast draw on it. And this already, which I just got this in today, but already it holds its weight on a full steel gun. This is like a 45-ounce gun with everything, but it still comes out super fast. So already, I haven't even used this holster in like live fire yet, and I'm already liking it a whole bunch. It's very comfortable and versatile, and I'm not gonna go too into detail about it because that's not what this video is about, but more of the gun that I'm switching to. So I'm switching to this CZ SP01 Tactical, and I'm going to be running a TLR7 HLX weapon light on it. I have the slide cut from Primary Machines. This red dot is from luxtactical. This is the Skyraider, their new like big competition window. I think this is going to be like the hottest new red dot out. If you guys want to save 10%, I'll put a link down in the description for you guys to get 10% off of this red dot, and it helps me out some. So if you're interested in this, check it out. And I've already done an unboxing. I'll put that up in the corner as well if you guys want to watch that. If you're interested at all, give them a check out because so far it's been a pretty decent red dot. But I'm switching to CZ, and there's a couple reasons behind why I'm switching to CZ, or just why I'm switching from Glock in general. So it all kind of started, my peak in interest of like wanting to switch probably whenever I started getting serious in competitive shooting about a year ago. Of course, Glock isn't super popular in competitive shooting, at least not with a ton of high level shooters. There definitely are some out there, and I think you definitely can shoot a Glock competitively at a high level. I actually made a full video about that because I won a state championship, the South Carolina State Championship last year with that same Glock 47 right there. So I know it can be done, but whenever I was shooting, at a higher level at these major matches and seeing that like really nobody else runs a Glock, it kind of piqued my interest of maybe why is that. And then when you're just scrolling on YouTube and you see all these new videos posted of what Canik just came out with, and Smith & Wesson just came out with the carry comp, and Walther's coming out with the steel frame, and everybody's coming out with ports and compensators and new upgraded stuff. Glock hasn't changed anything since '86. like for what, 40 years now, it's been exactly the same. The Generation 5 is almost went back to Generation 1 with no finger grooves, but the, you know, small things have improved, like a match grade barrel and the MOS plate system. But if you look at like the Echelon, that it takes so many different optics on just their universal mounting system with no plates required, and Glock is still just giving, at this point, just the one plate. It's not that great of a plate either. A lot of people aren't even running the plates that Glock comes with. They're just not doing anything new and innovative, and I don't know if that's because they're scared of ruining the reputation of Glocks being so reliable that if they come out with something new and it's not reliable, it messes with their reputation, or if they just don't think they need to change anything. Because I mean, everything that comes out with now, you know, is a Glock killer. I still think for me to have been supporting them for so long, it starts to get hard to defend them when nothing's really changed. And I want to hear your guys' opinions down in the comment section. Let me know how you guys feel about it. I know there's still plenty of people that carry Glock. There's plenty of people that shoot Glock, not only competitively, but just for range use and for self-defense training. I want to hear your guys' opinions on what you think about what I'm talking about, how they haven't changed anything, and everything that you get, it has to be aftermarket. You know, they came out with their performance trigger and it wasn't that great. You know, people were starting to have failures from it if you didn't clean it every 1,000 rounds or so, or, you know, which kind of proves the point of they were scared to come out with something like that and then not be as reliable. The Glock performance trigger definitely did have some issues, and that was like the first new innovative thing that they came out with, and it wasn't even anything crazy. Another reason that I was starting to think about switching from Glock is because as I leveled up as a shooter, and as much effort as it takes to shoot a Glock, I started shooting other people's guns, like a CZ Shadow 2 and a Walther PDP 5-inch. When I started shooting those other guns that I hadn't shot at all, and it was just as easy to keep the dot in the window, that kind of made me think some that Glock isn't all that's out there. And for a while, I mean, as you guys can see, I had just Glocks. I only had Glocks for the longest. I only shot Glocks for the longest, and I'm just now starting to branch into other stuff, and it's not been a hard switch, and the guns seem easier to shoot. I started to feel as the higher level of shooter that I got, and I'm still not even, you know, Nils Jonasson or Christian Seiler or Taron Butler. You know, I'm still not anybody like them, but I started to feel like the gun was holding me back a little bit. And again, I'm not saying that you can't be a high-level shooter or you can't accomplish great things with the Glock, but I do think that there are better guns that can just make shooting at a high level become easier. And so when I was shooting these other guns for the first time, and I realized how it was easier to do that, and there was less effort being put into pulling the trigger back and to maintaining the recoil, and just overall the fundamentals were easier with these other guns, that made me realize if I didn't have to focus as much on keeping the gun flat and pulling the trigger the right way, because, you know, it's a shitty striker fire trigger, then maybe I could take more of that mind effort and focus into doing other things during shooting, into my stage plan or those long distance shots. I don't have to worry about as much pulling on the trigger. I can focus more on where my point of aim is and more on transitioning from there or getting out of position. There's just more things that you could be thinking about when you don't have to focus on the fundamentals so much. And so my journey has just started with a non-Glock gun, and I'm not going to start carrying this until I have enough rounds through it for me to trust it. You know, I'm going to have to put a few thousand rounds in a gun before I really trust being able to carry it in general, just because I don't know. I'm not as familiar with where the buttons are, or where the mag release is and the slide release and racking the slide and tap, rack, bang. I'm not as familiar with all those stuff because I have probably 50 or 60,000 rounds through the Glock platform, or probably even more at this point. I really don't know. So of course I'm just not as familiar. So for me to be able to trust something, I'm gonna have to shoot it as much. But I do think that it's gonna be an easier switch, and overall will be more beneficial to me than just sticking with the Glock and buying more ammo and shooting it. I didn't have to put that much into this gun. The only thing that I paid for was the slide cut, the light, and the grips. That's pretty much it. So it's not like, you know, I spent a couple $1,000s on putting this gun together when I could have spent a couple $1,000s on ammo and shot my Glock. That's a whole different argument. I didn't have to put that much money into switching guns, and so now it makes even better of an argument to be able to switch this gun and take the ammo that I was already going to use for my Glock and put it into just what should be a better shooting gun. The trigger on a hammer fired gun is going to just be better overall. The reliability should be the same. CZ 75 platform has been proven for arguably just as almost as long as Glock. It's been up there and proven in durability over and over again. The CZ75 platform is a very reliable platform, so I have no worries in terms of reliability on carrying this. And speaking about carrying, another thing that will give me a little bit more peace of mind is having that hammer in an appendix carry. So whenever I'll be carrying this thing, of course I'll have the hammer back, and then I will use the decocker, so it'll be in this kind of half cocked position. And so when I'm going to reholster, I can put my thumb over top of the hammer when I go to reholster, so I know that even if the holster snags or if there's clothing in there, or even if I accidentally put my finger on the trigger, I can't pull the trigger if my finger is holding this hammer down. And of course, this is a clear gun. This is a clear gun. So just having a little bit more peace of mind whenever I'm carrying appendix, even though I trusted my Glock, it's just, why not? Why not have a little bit more peace of mind? Another thing that I'm excited about is carrying a all metal or all steel gun. Like I said earlier, this comes in right at 45 ounces with this slide cut. This slide cut took about an ounce, 1.8 ounces off, give or take. And then that was kind of offset with the dot. But if I would have just got this optic cut, it would be probably like 46 or 47 ounces. But still, that is unloaded with just a flat magazine in. So with this and with it loaded, you know, this is going to be a 50-ounce gun, give or take. And so that's a lot of weight to be helping with recoil management. And so that's another thing I'm looking forward to. Not only is it steel, so if I, you know, drop it or sit on it or stand on it, it's going to be more durable than a polymer gun, but also that extra weight is going to help maintain the recoil and just overall feel better in the shooting. At least I think so far. One of the downsides to carrying a heavier gun like this as opposed to a polymer gun is, of course, that it is going to be heavier. This is going to be a little over a half pound, probably 10 ounces heavier than the setup that I'm carrying right now. And so that is a little bit more extra weight to be carrying on my person all day. But at the same time, I have no problems carrying the gun that I'm carrying right now. It doesn't feel too heavy at all. I don't have any sag. And I do use a core EDC belt, which is rated to carry more weight than this setup is going to be. So I don't think I'll have any issues. And just from wearing it around today, I haven't. Of course, you know, long 8-hour days carrying it, that could definitely vary. So I'll keep you guys updated with that. But so far, the little bit of extra weight added to my waistline is not something that is really affecting me, because overall performance and overall peace of mind is going to be a little bit better in my opinion. And also the aftermarket support for a CZ platform is almost the same as Glock. You can change damn near anything you want to on these guns. You can see I can change the grips, I can get base pads, the trigger has Cajun Gunworks stuff, you can change the barrels on these, you can get them painted, they have light rail mounts, I got it cut for an optic. You can change almost, you know, the slide, the recoil and guy rod. You can change pretty much everything on this that you want to, just like you can in Glock. So again, let me know in the comments what your guys' opinions are. If you carry Glock, why do you keep carrying Glock? And do you think that they should come out with more new innovative stuff? This is me, what I'm switching to, what I'm changing to, and why I'm doing it. If you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments. Again, check the description if you want to check out this Lux Tactical Light. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.